at nuclear energy and looking at renewables, and that is one of the issues that is very close to the heart of the villagers here. With me is BBC Suffolk reporter Ben Parker. So the Greens, as Gita said, targeting a seat, but also green issues at play here.
Yeah, Greens have had an interesting story in Suffolk. They've done really well in local elections in the last couple of years. That hasn't translated to general election results yet, but they're heavily targeting one seat in Suffolk, pouring lots of money, resources and effort into that. We'll see on election night whether that works for them. But on that issue of electricity and energy creation, the reason we're in Friston, which is not a village on the coastline, it's offshore wind. And that's because the issue is, how do you get that offshore wind from the turbines, or that power, to plug into our homes? And the current proposal is to build what is a pretty gigantic industrial substation in a farmer's field behind us over there. Now, that's got lots of people's backs up, to be honest. It's not the only electricity issue here. There are also plans to build a converter station, another big site in nearby Saxmundham, and there are plans as well to link up the Suffolk coast with the Netherlands to transfer energy there, and also to Kent. So there's this cumulative impact potentially of all of these industrial projects on what is a real rural part of Suffolk.
It is a giant substation that is planned. A couple of villagers are with me. Liz, who's lived here for 12 years, and Carol, who's been here for 2. What are your concerns about these plans to have the substation here?
Well, as Ben said, we're a very rural village. In fact, we're a hamlet, not a village. And National Grid have ridden roughshod over us to get their power station in here. And it will fracture our village, it'll split the village into 2, and we will have to put up with all the traffic and the noise and the disruption in our village. And this is a very tiny, quiet part of Suffolk, and we will suffer for this.
Carol, the power has to come in somewhere, doesn't it? That's the issue. So is it a case of not in my backyard, to put it brutally?
There are other options, there are better options. Lots of the continent are using them. National Grid and Scottish Power are not looking at them by the sound of it. I'm just a villager living here, I don't know all of the ins and outs of it. But just for us here, the loss of value of our homes is not just a monetary thing, it's a personal and human thing. Well-being, we can't sell our houses, maybe, can't move to near families, can't move for your jobs. There are people in the village trying to sell their houses at the moment that need to move for health reasons. And it's all taking a huge toll that other people just aren't seeing who are living there.
Okay, well, Fiona Gilmore is from Suffolk Energy Action Solutions, looks at the wider issue of renewables and the offshore wind farms. Fiona, are there other options? Because I've said we've got to get this power that, if it is generated by the wind farms offshore, back on so that we can plug things in.
Yes, totally. We need to use brownfield sites closer to demand, closer to London, such as grain. We need to pool our energy at sea. Like Germany, Holland, Belgium and Denmark, we need an offshore solution, offshore platforms. It's cheaper. We will save £2 billion in East Anglia. It's faster. You won't have to build half of the onshore infrastructure. And it's better because you don't destroy the communities, the villages such as Friston and Saxmundham, and you don't destroy the economy. We could lose £1 billion of tourism over 12 years of construction. We can't afford to do that. It's too great a burden when there's a better solution. And the North Sea countries across the way, they are going with an offshore grid.
Okay, Fiona, thank you very much. So there you can see that the issues are at play here in terms of the offshore wind farms and how you bring that energy onshore, Gita. Now, we are in the Suffolk coastal constituency. These are the candidates that are standing in this constituency, and a reminder that wherever you are in the country, if you want to check the candidates that are standing in your constituency, then you can do that on the BBC News website and app. Just head there, you type in your postcode, and it will tell you the candidates are standing. It'll even tell you where you can go and vote on July the 4th. Back to you, Gita.
Wonderful, Nikki. Thanks very much indeed. We'll see you a bit later this afternoon. Thank you. Now, the Liberal